happy to be here. I'm in Cabo. Now, this is like live, so there could be like, we never know. We might see something happening in these windows that we shouldn't be seeing.
Oh,
Like, I don't know. Just keep watching. You never know what's going to happen. So, you guys, I'm so glad to be here with Manuela Marchigiani, of course, from Isomers Laboratory. We are going to be introducing this live stream a couple things. One is we're going to talk like in detail about the Academy Awards, the Oscars, red carpets, all that stuff. But Manuela has actually curated a brand new kit for us. We're going to talk about this kit. It's the Redensifying Kit. Now, Shop HQ is starting to call it the Age Defying Kit, but I want to rename it. And this is what I need you to approve this. I want to call it the Aging Gratefully Kit. Not gracefully, but aging gratefully. I like it.
gratefully. Oh, because you're grateful for aging?
I mean, it's better than the alternative. just saying.
100%. You know, that's true. Like this is always, yeah, we need to be grateful. Yes, this is the Redensify Contouring Cream with the Redensify Under Eye Serum and the Redensify Growth Factor Serum. This is the 3 pieces, yes?
All 3 of them. Okay, you guys, the crazy thing is, so if you are just looking at the contouring cream alone, that's usually $81 on its own. The growth factor serum is usually $66 on its own. The under eye serum is usually $32 on its own. Because we are aging gratefully with our Redensifying Kit, the kit today, Manuela, I don't even know if you know this price, 62% off all 3 products for $59.99. All 3.
That's $20 each, less than $20 each. This is unheard. That's less than the price of this alone. You're getting all 3. And you're getting the Redensify Growth Factor System. This is going to add that cushion. This is the filler for your skin.
This is all of that. Let's go one step further. Shop HQ is doing their BOGO today. So if you want to get the second kit will take another 30% off. So that brings that second kit down to under $45. Oh, stock up. I know.
So you get 2.
Crazy.
You get 2 and you don't even think about it. But what you're going to see is better. Can you imagine waking up in the morning with that nice, juicy, well-hydrated, well-contoured, lifted skin? You know, usually you wake up in the morning and there's one side's flat. You start to see this deep expression line or deep crease, you know. And now you're going to wake up totally predictable, totally plump, totally amazing, totally lifted with the Redensify system.
Volume, I mean, that's what we're always looking for, right? We have those like chubby baby cheeks. You've got the firmness, you know, the no longer I'm melting look, the better texture, the hydration, that sculpted look, all of it. You guys, when we talk about these beauty BOGOs, this is the time to stock up on not just the Redensifying Kit, but I want you guys to think about to last week. Back at last week, we had that Diamond Reset Duo where we were, I mean, it was $59.99. Now you can get the second one of that one too. I don't want you guys to forget about that because it's still on the kit. You can get the second kit now for $42. I mean, crazy. So now
that's not just this kit; it's the other kit too. I love everything. What they do. Everything. The freedom we have here in this community is amazing.
It's so cool. And we want to say hi to Deborah. Deborah's watching. Harry's watching. Hi, guys. So I want to start with a proper introduction because you and I always get, we just get so excited to talk about everything. But if people are joining, because we've got a lot of new people that have never shopped with us before, they're just finding Shop HQ for the first time. Tell them about Isomers Laboratories and, what your role is and why you decided to do this, because you're like the #1 cosmetic chemist in all of North America, which I think is so cool. And you never brag about that. So I have to do it for you.
Well, we just sit quietly in the corner and we watch everybody else just do what their thing is. But we're like the OG of skincare. So I'm a cosmetic chemist. My name is Manuela Marchigiani, and I own and operate Isomers Laboratories out of Toronto, Canada. So I create skincare. I invent skincare. Launched probably more independent skincare ingredients in North America than any other brand, because we're based in science and research. We create evidence-based, problem-solving skincare. And I started this because I had to fix my skin as a teenager, as a young adult. Fortunately, being at University of Toronto, I was able to start to do research at Darish, and we started creating skincare just to fix my skin. And other people started noticing the difference. So our purpose was to heal my skin, use the science, really get to the truth. And once I found the truth and how to do it and understand about isomeric molecules, the pH, the microbiome, we've been talking about this for decades. So we're not part of the trend. We're like ahead of the trend. We created our laboratory because other people started coming up to us and saying, what are you doing with your skin? Because I was a wreck, right? My skin was very bad. And it wasn't acne. It was more like an autoimmune issue with a lot of welts and just blisters and temperature intolerance. So having to learn how to navigate that skin and nothing was out there, we created Isomers Skincare. So we make skincare differently. We use isomeric molecules. We do everything in-house. We're vertically integrated. And I believe that we're direct from the laboratory. So you're getting that savings, but you're getting the better quality product, right? You're going direct from a laboratory to you, but the laboratory is family owned. We're not beholden to shareholders. It's not about their bottom line. It's about your skin. And because we're so passionate about education, we didn't go retail. We went through TV shopping so that we could talk to the real user, the real person struggling with their skin or having questions. And we identified things along the way because we're human, right? We start looking at the different stages and aging of skincare. We realize that a lot of skincare is just kind of like cookie cutter information or cookie cutter formulas that don't really address the problem. And they have a lot of fancy packaging, they have a lot of celebrities, they have a lot of marketing. We're very much more about the real nutrient dense problem solving formulas. So something like today where we're talking about Redensify, the whole concept of Redensify is looking at skin as it ages. We know collagen changes. We know that the collagen gets less plentiful, our body makes less, but that's just the fabric. That's just the covering of your skin, right? The collagen. Inside, you have fats, you have volume. It's like the stuffing. The stuffing also goes away. Most women, men are using fillers or they're just having saggy skin. We looked at redensifying, putting back that volume back into the skin. So what we've done is we've created a routine or a system that's going to be able to give you that volume back. So it's going to help lift your skin from within, helps contour that jawline, helps deal with the fat, the pads, and the hollowness under the eyes, the sinking of the cheeks. All of that where you start to look deflated or you're melting. We want to redensify that. Now, we as a skincare can't say we put fat underneath the skin and build it up like a filler does, but we can redensify your skin. We can make it firmer and thicker. And as it takes up more space, it will naturally lift and it will give you those sharper contours. It's proven, it's effective, people love it. The science and technology are solid. And having a complete system like this, you use the serum for your face, right? All over. Your eye is different, so it needs its own formula. And then you're going to follow up with your cream. So this will also do the deep creases and hydrate. Take it down to your neck area and really watch your skin revolumize. You start to notice it's not so hollow, it's not so sunken. And at Isomers, that's what we're all about, Kathy. We're really about, you can go ahead and get procedures done, but at the end of the day, regardless of all the procedures you get done, at the end of the day, you go home and you got to take care of your skin. You got to take care of your investment, you got to take care of your skin, and you have to take care of your hygiene. This is just what we have to do. Most products out there don't have the activity. They don't have the science. Most people like to create a product or a brand just because they want to be, just because they're popular, just because they're celebrity, but they don't really have that integrity inside where they're trying to build something from within for your benefit. And that's really what Isomers is all about.
It's so interesting. Either they're creating their own tequila brand or their own skincare.
Yeah, yeah, and it's really, and they get on. So right now we have like an oversaturation, really, of skincare, and a lot of people just as influencers and whatnot. I mean, we were just talking today. Two things, two topics we were talking today a lot about was this brand, Lipstick Lesbians. They just released Leaked Labs, where they started going to laboratories. This is really cool, right? They're very, very popular on social media. And because they're very, very popular, and they became popular because they know about formulation, but they can critique them. It's like an editor. They can edit, they can look at stuff, and they can comment on it. They became very popular. So now they've become popular, I should do my own brand. But why? Like, most of us would say, but why are you starting your own brand? You don't really have a purpose to start a brand. Just because you're popular as an editor doesn't make you a writer. You know what I mean? Anyway, they
True.
decided to go to different laboratories that now want to tag on to their popularity and look at stuff that they've shelved. So things that scientists or whatever have worked on, but really didn't see a need for it, or wasn't that great, or maybe whatever, for whatever reason they shelve it. So they are going through old product that's shelved and then finding, oh, we can turn this into something. And then they tell their followers about it, and they tell their followers, we're going to give you a sample, but you have to beta test this for us. If you like it, we'll go into production. But the beauty of this is they charge them for beta testing, $34 a person to beta test it.
Oh,
It's really
that,
weird.
that's weird. Brilliant, but really weird. I mean, brilliant because they're going to make money hand over fist. They're going to have like based on their followers. If all the followers pay that $34, they make more money on just the. I mean, they don't have to
34
do anything
million
else.
right there. Yeah,
And they
100%.
can decide they
But
don't want to do it. They can just say,
yeah,
"No, we decided not to." Yeah.
exactly. Just going to do it once and move on to the next. But no, people will get tired. There'll be fatigue in beta testing fatigue or something like that. And there's really no, I guess in makeup you could do stuff like that because it's like fast fashion. But in
Yeah.
skincare, you have to be serious. This is something that someone told me a long time ago. When you, as a inventor or a manufacturer, they say when you make makeup, people date you. When you make foundation, they're engaged to you. But when you make skincare, they're married to you.
Married
And
to
I've
you.
always
Oh yeah.
taken that very seriously because that's a commitment. That's a commitment for you because you don't want to change your skincare every month. You don't want to lose a brand or not understand their philosophy. This is the largest organ of your body. You want to be able to take care of it properly. This is why this opportunity through you, through Shop HQ, that we can come here and offer direct from the laboratory. You're not beta testing this, ladies and
No.
gentlemen. This is tried, tested, and true. We've done the R&D. We've done all of the clinical work. So we guarantee the results, which is also, and you're saving a ton of money too, because you're coming through this community.
Ton of money. I mean, that serum, $66. We'll talk about the serum first because that's really your step one, right? So
Yeah,
the Redensified Growth Factor serum usually is $66 on its own. But this is that rejuvenating, this is that firming, this is that correction, this is that feeding of your skin, right?
yeah,
So I think that uh, first and foremost, a couple things that you said there were just resonated with me. One is that not only do you sign up with Isomers and you get to this wealth of knowledge, but also you have evolved with. You're not just staying with the same, not to throw somebody else under the bus, but like a drugstore brand that's been doing the same thing for 40 years, you
mhm,
are innovating. You are like, you have these open formulations that you will like say, hey, I'm going to like redo this, or we found out this, we're going to add this. And you've done that. And Redensify is really, I mean, it's not necessarily going to be for the 20-year-old, but you're also growing and aging gratefully with the rest of our people who are following along. And by the way, hi, Carly. Hi, Francis. So nice to see you guys here, and Deborah. Yep. Hi, everybody. But so
hi
you,
everyone.
so now you're the Redensify. I mean, you're looking at skincare for women who, even if they've been shopping with you for 30 years, their skin is different now. And so you're creating stuff for that, the women's changing skin, which I think is so important. So redensifying, starting with the serum, if you curated this set, it's your
Yeah,
step kind of one, two, three. with that serum, who is it for? I mean, who is the woman? It's me for sure, but who is the woman that's looking for this?
Maturing skin, over 40 skin, pretty much. We started to notice you're sinking or sagging. There's some hollowing that's happening. So this is not really about the collagen. It's about the fat underneath that's creating that modeling, the contouring, where you think about, you're standing there and you're doing this kind of thing because you've lost volume. Also elasticity. So you're going through, this older maturing kind of transition from your 20s and 30s into your 40s, for example. Now, the requirement of the skin at that point, yes, you need collagen stimulation, but we have that with the collagen peptides. This is really good, giving you a copper. This is giving you the neodermal technology, which is a copper peptide that helps with the elasticity. We have the growth factors in here that help with the cellular communication, which is important because it helps to bring those cells back into shape and inform. We get older, we get a little more fluffy and a little more squishy. Well, we want to get back into being toned. Our skin needs to be toned and organized. And this is what the Redensify helps with. So it's not just something that's going to speak to collagen. Actually, I'm going to put collagen to the side. I want to speak to the elastin, and I want to speak to the new cell growth and the redensifying the fat in there, and make sure that it's showing up in the right place with the right energy. That's what Redensify is all about. This is why we get that filling in. This is why we get, when you start to lose a little bit of the shape, you start to look a little softer, you start to notice your chin is a little softer, or the cheek area has kind of fallen. This is where we're going to be able to give you that volume back with the Redensify. It's got the growth factor, important for communication, has the neodermal technology. What's interesting about neodermal is that, and I remember going to a lunch place with a bunch of the PhD chemists who created neodermal, and they were telling us that they were trying to test it. Like, how would you test it? So there's always tests that we do in a laboratory. So laboratory testing is really great because we can get little petri dishes or we can get little chips, and we can tell a lot about its behavior. But in reality, although that'll help us with our formula and we could kind of guess at how it's going to work, it's never like real life, because real life is different. So you have, in vitro testing, chip testing, or you have in vivo. And so these PhDs were telling us about how they got real people to inject half their face, and the other half, they left it with the neodermal technology. And after 2 weeks, because they wanted to settle, they had people not knowing, other independents, testers, looking at the left and the right side and trying to guess which side had the neodermal technology. And they couldn't tell the difference. They looked as plump, as smooth, as contoured. That's huge. I love the story because they were telling me that off the record. They were telling me that as like people in the lab. Like, did you see that? This is what we do. And I think that says a lot about the science and the chemistry that they're using, that they feel that confident that they've actually gone and compared it to a procedure. And then they go and they say to an independent person, guess which side got the filler?
Yeah.
And they couldn't tell.
And fillers, I mean, I did fillers at one point. It has probably been over 10 years. I don't like the fact that now they're saying that they settle, and that they migrate, and it hurt like crazy, and I bruised like crazy. So I never could do it when I was on Shop HQ, because I was going to be bruised. So thank goodness for Redensify, because you get those
100%.
results. Yeah.
Yeah.
No pain. Yeah. So we've got the growth factor serum. We're going to use that morning and night. Then we go on. I mean, you can either use your eye serum or your contouring cream. I mean, step 2 or 3, whatever you want to do. Let's go to the contour cream next, which is usually $81 on its own. We're going to get all 3 pieces for under $60. And don't forget, it's BOGO. So if you get that second one, the second set of 3 is going to be under $45. Crazy. So the contouring cream, regularly $81. It's firming, it's correcting. You're getting a nice big jar of it. And let's look at the delivery system too.
Yeah, this one's amazing. So this is the jar, and you're going to get, the really nice application, very nice and clean. It's a beautiful cream that you're going to be able to put onto your skin. This is super lifting and super hydrating. This is really important because it's going to help with your moisturizing. It's going to help with your barrier. It's going to keep your skin soft and supple. It's going to ensure that your skin has the right support, but it also delivers, you know, we used to call this in the lab the mega lift serum. We didn't call it Redensify because there's certain things you call just by what they do. This was the mega lifter. This was the heavy lifter. Those deep nose to mouth lines. When you notice that you're thinking, oh, it's too late, you've lost too much volume. No, we created the mega lifter. So now we call it the Redensify contouring cream because you are going to be able to regain more of that definition between jawline and neck. Right? You want to see a little bit of a difference. This area too starts to soften. And a lot of people get this cut or shaved inside to lift. Well, start using this. Like, why not put the support back into the skin where we know that it has to be?
And for men and women, you guys, and I've talked about this before, the men and the Norton family get what's called the Norton slope. It all of a sudden just all starts, there's no contour anymore. There's just zero. So this is fragrance free. It's for the man, it's for women. I mean,
yeah.
There's nothing about it that says it's only for women out there. So put it on his counter. I mean, we got to get rid of that Norton slope on John. So he's definitely bellying up to some of my products for sure. When we move from the contouring cream into like the eye serum. So the eye serum is the redensifying under eye. And I love that you're calling redensifying and the under eye at the same time, because I think a lot of people, obviously the very first place you're going to see the aging is around the eyes. I mean, you can see this, starting to see the crinkles on your eyes in your 20s, right? But the hollowing of the eyes, the sunken look is definitely comes with later in aging. So the Redensify Under Eye, $32 usually on its own, firming, correcting your step 3 and morning and night.
Ideally morning and night.
Okay.
This is super, super hydrated. This is super intense. You don't need a lot of product. It is a serum. It is oil-free, but it packs a punch. So this is going to be underneath the eye, over here on the contour, where you've lost the volume, where you start to get much more skeletal, where you think you want filler or something. And we know filler around the eye is like a super no-no because it can fill up, it draws moisture, you smile, all your eyes disappear. You look very pillowy. It's interesting. There was a podcast not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, with Dr. DeBro, and he was talking about fillers. And he's talking about peptides and things like that. But he was talking about how the whole filler thing has changed completely because they're seeing that especially ill-placed filler around the eye, too much on the top, really has long-term issues. Even if you want to have reconstruction later on, it gets in the way. So this is why I love this for around the eye area. I mean, I'm a big fast lift eye serum person, but this is my secondary eye product because again, I am older, I'm post-menopause. So when you think about that, our bodies are not working the same way. You're not getting a lot of the key elements you need to hold that fat, that good quality fat, the good fat where it needs to be. Things tend to, and we have that anatomical shift of the fat pad. This is really going to help redensify. So it's going to give you a smooth look. It's not going to fill it 100%, but it'll start smoothing out this area. So you don't have this huge shadowing. You don't have this divot in that area. You still have those beautiful contours, much more youthful. And if you use it around the eye, so you're using underneath the eye, but even if you take it up to the brow area, these areas hollow out too. You're going to be able to get the eyebrow back up to where it was. You want to start lifting that area as well around that contour that holds it all together.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I mean, the eye, and people say, well, can't I just use my eye or just my face cream? No, you definitely want to stay with that smaller molecule with the serum, and that's why Manuel has created this kit. The kit is 62% off today, $59.99, because Shop HQ is doing a BOGO on just about everything, but on beauty, it's 30% off. That means your second kit, your second 3-piece kit, these are all full size, you guys, is another 30% off. So now you're under $45. And what Manuela said earlier about your skin being your largest organ, why is it that we neglect our largest organ? Is someone told us our heart was aging, our kidney, our liver, all of those things, right? But why we neglect our largest organ is just beyond me. I mean, we're talking about volume and firmness and resilience and better texture, all in this one curated kit. All beauty right now. 30% off BOGO. It's time to stack up. Manuela, I want to give one plug to, we still have a few left of that duo we created, the Diamond Reset Duo with the Spicula Body Cream and the Overnight
Wow.
Hydrating Mask. It's $59.99. I went on shophq.com right before we came live. The second set, if you guys, we were telling you to stock up at $59.99. The second set is $42 right now. I mean, so give somebody just a little plug about the Diamond Reset.
The Diamond Reset's amazing because you're going to have the Diamond Peptide Brightening Cream. That's really important for the body, for the face. This is going to give you blue light protection, hydration, diamond peptide, which is really going to help with the reorganization and the delivery. So you're going to get that brightening and freshness and protection. You need to protect your work. You need to protect your skin from the environment. You know, your clothing only does so much, and we don't cover our faces or our necks and things like that. So it's really important. Then the body spicule, super great because that's liquid microneedling for your body, for the neck, for the bust line, for the belly area, where you notice for cellulite, where you notice your skin is crepiness. You need to be able to penetrate. You need to chop up in a way that collagen in the right way, that microexfoliation from the microneedles to stimulate it. It's like when you work out and you're working on strength training, you kind of tear up your muscles a little bit, chop them up a little bit to rebuild them. The microneedling is going to help to go in, increase the absorption, but also disrupt the collagen in a really good way to make it firmer and tighter. So this is going to help with the toning and tightening of your skin and the smoothing. So you've got the dimples or the crepiness, you can address it. And this truly works as well. You're not beta testing this. We've already done all. You're not our lab rat. You're not our guinea pig. I'm the guinea pig. The Isomers, we're the guinea pigs. We put ourselves out there to do that. For you, it's a guaranteed result. And for you, you're also getting laboratory direct. You're getting fresh product. You're part of this community. You're getting these great opportunities to do really intensive, really problem-solving, result-oriented skincare at home for pennies. And this is great because in today's day and age, I don't know, Kathy, but every time I turn around, everything costs way more. You're
Oh
getting
my
way
God.
less. It costs way more. Nothing really makes sense. And so we're going to stop the insanity. I feel like I sound like Susan Powder. Stop the insanity.
Yeah.
And
Oh
I'm
my
dating
gosh.
myself there. But
Okay, here's the thing. The price cannot get better. There's no way that ShopHQ can go better than 30% off and an additional, so 62% off for the kit that you're seeing right here. There it is. All you have to do is just click on that and that kit goes into your cart. Click on it twice. Now we're dropping that kit down to under $45. I mean, there's just no way you can do that. So this is your Redensify kit. We are actually calling it, when you see it online, ShopHQ is calling it the Age Defying Kit. I've renamed it the Aging Gratefully Kit. So we like that. Okay, so because you talked about how expensive things are, I have a Chick-fil-A story.
all right.
So John and I went to Chick-fil-A in the airport on our way down to Cabo. That's where I am, and I know that Carly wanted to know where I was. I'm in Cabo, Mexico. It's super safe. We went to Chick-fil-A. This is what we had. John had the spicy chicken sandwich. I had like the 4-piece strip. No French fries. We each had a Coke. Oh, I think French fries came with John. We each had a Coke. It was $24.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is fast food. I watched a man and his wife and their 3 kids go up there, and I'm just thinking, they're going to spend $75 at Chick-fil-A. I was just like, my mind was blown. It was
Yeah.
crazy. So talk about things getting way out of hand. So
Wait a minute.
Chick-fil-A, $24, or get my Redensifying for $59. Thank you. I'll take the Redensifying.
And the nutrition, like, I mean, it's like you're getting lab direct, high quality performance ingredients, the right level, the right delivery system we're very mindful of what we're giving. And again, it is the largest organ of your body. You want to take care of it. And I think that we need to really start taking care of ourselves and being more mindful and being very selective in our food, in our skincare, in our purchases, and how we're going to make ourselves stronger, right? Going forward. I think it's really important because we need to show up, right? You don't want to just
That's
not participate. And I really think
yeah.
that when you like the way you look and you like, you're just going to live differently. You're going to love, you're just going to show up differently. You're going to have better energy. Things will go better for you because you show up differently.
Yeah,
It's like a cycle that happens, right?
for sure. I mean, it's and I used to say this to you all the time when we were home shopping because I would just realize it while we were live on air. I would always say you forgot to list an ingredient, and you would always give me this funny look because, but it was always like you forgot to list confidence as an ingredient because it shows up when your skin feels better, when you feel better in your skin, your confidence level just it goes up and you feel like you can kind of do anything. So I love that, which is going to be a crazy segue into talking about the Oscars, the Academy Awards, because
Yes.
there were people that showed up with an abundance of confidence that were put immediately on the worst dress list. Man, but they were so confident. So I do want to talk about it because I think also what I realized when I was watching the red carpet is it was sort of like a master class in skincare because like everybody, I'm talking everybody without fail, looked just absolutely glass like beautiful skin. You notice their skin. So, I mean, it was kind of a master class on that. So that was good. That was really fun. So let's talk about who made the best dress list. And this was
Okay.
according to Cosmo Magazine and Vanity Fair. So I decided to narrow it down and said, who made the best dress list over 50 years old? What woman? So Rose, is it Byrne? Rose Byrne, Byrne. She was wearing Dior. Remember she was in Bridesmaids. She played the other lady in Bridesmaids. She had this super chic, elegant black sheath dress on. Yeah, okay, you're looking her up. Good. So
Oh,
Rose
yeah.
Byrne, she was in Dior. If you find it, let's show them.
Oh, she won
And
the
then the
best actress, eh? Oh, that dress. Yes.
it's
Beautiful.
elegant. It's kind of timeless and chic, right? Love
I
that.
think this is my favorite. I
Is
think
it?
this was my absolute favorite dress. I mean, I would love to wear this. I don't know if I could pull off a train like that or that flowing on the back part there, but I love that dress.
I loved it too. You know, and then there it is. Yep, good, good, good.
Yeah.
The other one that got who had a super minimalist vibe, and I was shocked that she was over 50, but she's 51. Is Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh,
Gwyneth Paltrow. She had this white dress that, like, on the side, it looked like it was cut out down the whole side, but it was, like I don't know, some like plasticky material. But she got best one of the best dressed because she had this minimalist white vibe going on. 51 years old. She was rocking it. She looks great. She looks fit, and her skin was just glossy, of course. And
but that's all
she
she
of
does.
course is.
That's all she
Pardon
does
me?
all day long. I think
Oh
she's
yeah.
24/7 taking care of her. I mean, that's her priority.
Her priority is definitely, yeah, her rapper for sure. And women over, do you see her? Yeah. I mean, it's pretty darn cool dress. But and I saw her walking the red carpet. And I mean, it literally looked like it could come apart at any second. But I mean, it was super cute. Worst dressed woman over 50, and I was kind of
Sigourney
surprised because I do.
Weaver.
Well, I don't.
Well,
She
there was
wasn't
more.
tall
There was
enough. So
worse than that too, but that one really hurt my eyes.
what one was it? What did she look like? I
Was
can't
that? I
remember.
think it was that Sigourney Weaver. No, maybe it wasn't her. Who was that woman?
Amy
No.
Madigan.
Um, Oscar 2026.
Well, I got to
It
tell
was the
you
yellow
who
one.
she.
Oh,
Yeah, I love the new yellow. Buttery yellow is like the new color. I love that color.
I
But
know, but it was. Oh, you know who had a really beautiful dress on too? Kate Hudson. She had a really beautiful dress
And
on.
she looked gorgeous. And I was going to put her on the list too, but she's not over 50 yet. I think she's like
Yeah,
49.
but that dress was stunning.
Stunning. The structure of it was so gorgeous. But you know who over 50, both of them were put on the worst dress list, and I liked both their dresses. Nicole
Who?
Kidman, they said they didn't like the feathers on her, and Demi Moore. And she had a feather dress too. I loved both of the dresses, but they
And
were put on.
Nicole looked amazing.
I thought she looked amazing.
Looked
But
amazing. I think they just have. I think they're just jealous.
I think they don't like feathers all of a sudden. And so I thought they looked, and Demi Moore's dress, it came all up with these dark feathers and this goddess look. I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Which one are you looking up?
Right now, I'm looking at. See this. This is the Gwyneth. This is where you need body spicules, ladies. You see those bum cheeks over there that are hanging out on the side of Gwyneth there?
You mean on the clears part? Because you're frozen right now, so I can't see the dress.
Oh, am I? Oh,
Yeah,
there you see her. You see how the
I can
slit is
do.
there? That's
I
where I
can.
would use spicules for sure
Oh,
for the
there.
body.
Could you see it there? Oh,
Yeah, I would
okay.
use spicules. See?
Spicules.
See? Well, spicules.
Okay,
Definitely would
so
use spicules.
you know who's getting a lot of Oscar buzz right now, though? Leonardo DiCaprio. It's always like, what's he going to wear and who's he going to show up with? But he was a perfect example of a man who looks handsome with lived in skin. His skin looks lived in, and he looks good. He was in a classic tux. I didn't see who he brought, but for some reason I thought he brought his mom, but maybe not.
I think
Um,
he brings his mother sometimes to these. Look at him.
I mean, I'm telling you what, he
He looks
looked good.
better now than before. He looks better this year. I saw one of 2022. He looks better here with that mustache. His skin looks amazing.
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
he's rocking like the smile lines, and I think he looks really good. He won. He won for best actor in that crazy movie that Sean Penn was in too, and it was it was really really good. In fact, my son dressed up as him for Halloween, the character that Leonardo DiCaprio played, so it was good. But I loved that because he was rocking that. We've talked about how men can kind of overdo it too with eye surgery and like the Brads, but he didn't. I mean, he looked good. And
He looked
why
really
is this?
good. He
Okay,
looked
so
really nice.
from a
Because he still looks
cosmetics,
like him. He's not
yeah.
hiding his age. He still looks like himself. You can still tell that that's him. He's not overdone. He just looks fresh.
So here's my question for you. Why do men get to age with the weathered skin and they look rugged and handsome? And why do women, we don't have those I mean, there's different expectations for us. Why is that?
I think that women do a lot more. I don't know. I want to. I don't. I think that women also do a lot more. Men kind of are a little bit slower in what they're doing when they're taking care of themselves. Their skin is a little thicker. It does age a little bit differently. I think that that's you got to keep that into effect too. Also,
Yeah.
they don't really get as much work done as women do. Women are really they're starting very young in the early 20s too to get a lot of
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
volumized, plumped. And then as you get older, all of this starts shifting, right? I think guys hold off and they just age differently, you
It's
know?
funny. I can't even get John to go to see a doctor. I
But
mean,
they
it's just
lose their
like,
hair faster.
oh, John's been bald since he was in his 30s.
See?
Yeah, I know. But he rocks it. I remember when he started losing his hair, and our kids gave him a hard time because he was like trying to hang on to it. And so he had this little peninsula of hair right here. And I'm like, get rid of the peninsula. It's an island that's breaking off from the rest of your hair. Let's just go ahead and get rid. So now he shaves his head. But it took him a long time to get to that point. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just think that I think we're all learning a lot more too. And more of us are going into certain ages, like as a demographic. And I think we're becoming a
Yeah,
lot gentler and kinder to each other in how we're
for
aging
sure.
gracefully.
Well, especially once you get into that age, it's where I am in Cabo. That I'm for sure in the upper of the age group that's here. And it's funny because you just are like, wow. I'm kind of glad to be past all of that. We had to like shut the doors and put everything down because the spring breakers are here. And I'm like, oh, I'm so happy to not be there anymore. So
So
yeah,
tiring. I know. Don't feel like it. Like you lose. It's really true. It's not that just. It's not bah humbug. It's just like just have different priorities. Different things interest you.
different prayers. So
You
true.
know.
Okay, I want to finish up reminding everybody, first of all, that we have the Redensifying Trio. Manuela curated a kit. You've got step 1, 2, 3. You've got your
Yep.
serum, you've got your contouring cream, you've got your eye serum, all of it for really all of your sinkers and saggers out there. You are going to absolutely love this. And at $59.99, it's a 62% saving. So I don't want you guys to forget about that. You can just click right on the link there, tap that, and you're good to go. I want to remind everybody that all the beauty is 30% off. Anytime you buy one, you get one for an additional 30% off. That includes our diamond reset from last week. So it's time to stock up, stock up, stock up, stock up. Great. And I want to also remind everybody that we're on again tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern, and a whole new thing to talk about. But I want to finish up with a rapid fire, no filter. Ask Manuela, the cosmetic chemist. So I'm going to give you a few things, and you just answer it. One
Okay.
word, and if you want to expand on it, we'll come back to it.
All right.
So, question number 1: Botox or peptides? Which one?
Peptides.
And
Peptides.
especially
Peptides. Peptides.
peptides. Okay. Drugstore dupes or expensive serums?
I'm sorry. I still am going to go to expensive serums over drugstore
Me
dupes.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Is face yoga a gimmick or genius?
A gimmick.
Gimmick. Yep. Is slugging, you guys slugging, putting it over your barrier? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Retinol, is it the holy grail or is it a high maintenance drama?
It's not the Holy Grail, but I don't think it's high maintenance drama either. So that one's a trick question.
Good
But
question. Okay, we can come back to that
it's
one.
better than a lot of other stuff, but it should not be high maintenance drama. It should not be. If it's high maintenance drama, you're doing it wrong.
Okay, good. All right. Is it going to be coffee or sleep that's better for skin?
Sleep. Sleep.
Sleep.
Sleep and good sleep. You want those growth factors to kick in. You need the
For
REM.
sure.
You
I
need
mean,
the sleep.
and
That deep
that's when
sleep,
skin's
nothing replaces that.
nothing. I know. Still trying to get, I still chase the elusive 8 hours. I like max out at 6 and I can actually live on 6.
You
But
get to
okay, and
6? Oh my gosh.
and
I'm like
6,
3 or
6 is,
4 some days. Yeah. And
oh
I
yeah, well,
try.
some days for sure. Yeah, some days I do, and I'll crash and go. Like last night, I went to bed at 8:30, 8:30 at
That's my
night.
bedtime.
Oh, it's at home. I'm usually like 11 o'clock, but anyway.
Well, I don't,
Um,
even on New Year's, it's hard for me to see 11 o'clock. Yeah.
yeah. So sauna or cold plunge?
Oh, cold plunge.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm thinking about building a sauna in the backyard.
That's not bad, but cold plunge is very good for you.
Yeah. Okay. So
Inflammatory.
let's go
Sauna is
back.
very, very good for you, but very dehydrating.
Dehydrating for sure. And I think that like both cold plunge and sauna, you have to, once you're, if you're a woman and you're over like 50, there's actually it doesn't have to be quite as cold or quite as hot, you know?
Exactly. That too. You got
Yeah.
to be gentle. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to be gentle. Okay, so I want to come back to drugstore dupes or expensive serums. That one you were like, oh, I want to say drugstore dupes, but you said going to go with expensive serums. Why?
Yeah. Why? Because when you do a drugstore dupe, they're doing a lot of things in the dupe to get to that price point, right? So not just because it's like a fake Birkin or whatever. It's not the same leather, it's not the same manufacturing, it's not the same guarantee or quality. It's you've got to be very, very careful. A lot of these dupes are ingredients that could be not as effective. Maybe it pays off, maybe it kind of smells like and looks like the same thing, but the science is really missing, right? And I think you have to be careful with that because a lot of times too with the dupes, I just don't think you get the quality. There
Yeah.
is a lot to get it to. Like some of the very expensive. Okay, so you're gonna have very expensive stuff, and then you're gonna have appropriately priced things that you think are expensive. But this is where I think people think, oh, just because it's expensive, and this is the cheaper version, it's equal. It's not in science, especially in formulation, like for drugs or things with the delivery systems and antioxidants are expensive. And a lot of times they'll change the delivery system where the antioxidant to get to the dupe. And so that actually affects the overall performance. And it could actually, in fact, affect the integrity of your skin. So
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. And you have to be really careful if you guys are going on like an Amazon or something to buy skincare too. You think you can actually put something in your cart that you recognize the brand and it's a dupe. And I mean, Amazon does
that's
its
the
best to
worst.
try.
That's the
Oh,
worst too, because that's unregulated. So a lot, they
yeah.
don't have to actually file that ingredient with the government. So there's nobody overseeing no one overseeing the legality of it. So you can have ingredients in formulas that are banned, that are carcinogenic, that are actually poisonous or toxic to you if you don't know the country of origin, the manufacturer, just because it's a dupe. So you have to be aware of those things too. And people are going to say, but it looks like or I bought it on Amazon, it should be safe. Why? You're assuming they have a regulatory that's protecting you. And that's not necessarily the case, right?
So,
There's a lot of stuff
so
that go out there that it's not even what you're buying. There's so many things that change. Yeah.
yeah, it makes me a little crazy too. You have to know your brand
Quality,
is what
not
man.
nothing in quality is very important. We're so unfortunately, I think in the 40s and 50s, people understood the value of quality. We had less things, we had fewer things, and we bought better quality clothing, shoes, whatever. You had things that last for a long time. Our food too, it was probably more not organic, but from the ground, farm to table
Sure.
more, right?
Yeah, it was
Now,
homegrown.
people don't really know where carrots come from or pineapples come from, whatever. They think they come from a can or a box because they don't understand because things get so processed. When you look at, Lucky Charms or Cheerios or Fruit Loops or whatever this is all processed food, right? And that is not quality. They put fake ingredients in there. It tastes great. The food chemists are brilliant because they make us addicted to all this stuff. They're playing with our palate and they make us crave these things. But the food quality is not there. And even though they
No.
supplement it with some, they'll put some B vitamins and a little bit of this or that in it, it's really, really bad for us. And we see what's happening with the inflammation, right? And even with skincare, the quality of the ingredient will affect the inflammation, and it's inflammation that's really bad for us.
It's so interesting. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about my grandma forever. She lived to be over 100 years old. She grew her food. I mean, basically, she grew her food. I mean, even until she was 90, I moved her out of her house when she was 95. So up till she was 95 years old, she grew all of her own food. And she, like, it wasn't organic. I mean, she just grew it, right? She just grew her own food, and she lived. She only bought what she needed and that kind of thing. But man, she lived a very full and rich life. And it was, yeah. And I mean, her passion was cooking. She was a caterer. So she loved to cook and she cooked with healthy, whole foods. And I think
Yeah.
that was I learned a lot from her because of how she lived. She was my mentor, and she was definitely the person who I learned the most from. But yeah, I mean, it goes back to the basics, right? Goes back to like doing things the right way, not the easy way.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us, we just go for the convenience and we go for the easy way, and we're sacrificing a lot of quality and stuff there, you know?
Yeah, agreed 100%. My mother-in-law taught my husband one saying that has served me well. And it was this. It's like, how did she say it? When you buy the best, it only hurts once.
There you
And I
go.
just am like, I like that because I could talk John into the expensive couch or like the expensive handbag. And he stood that because that's where he grew up. There's a funny story. His dad was a traveling salesperson. John's mom had 5 kids, and 3 of them, like within like 2 years, and they were Irish triplets, they called them.
Mhm.
And so she had no car. She was staying home with all these kids, and man, she saved money in the tin can like she would. And John's dad left town one day, and she was like, "Great!" She called the furniture delivery person, and she had bought a whole dining room set without telling him. And this was, the early '60s, right? And so, as the furniture truck is pulling up in the driveway, Jack, John's dad, is pulling up in the driveway, and he's like, what did you do? We've got 5 children to feed, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward, those guys have been married 69 years now. Guess what dining room table we're still eating at? That
100%.
same dining room. It's pristine. They've raised 5 children around their grandchildren, and it is pristine because she bought the best. She saved and saved and saved for it, had it delivered, didn't want to ask permission. She said, I know it's going to be the right one. She got it delivered, and we still sit around that table every single holiday.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
My dad used to say, we're too poor to buy cheap. You
Yes.
know,
No,
so you just,
yes, see that?
it's the same philosophy. You buy it once, you do it right. You buy these little things to make up for it, and then you're always buying, things that don't last, things that don't give you the payoff. And this is the thing too, our skin, we have this one skin. We should not be cheap with it. We need to be mindful, and you don't have to use everything, but what you do use should be the best in class so that you get that benefit. Otherwise, it's like people who take a lot of vitamins and it just goes through your body. You're just spending a
Yeah.
lot of money and getting zero benefit from it. Your skincare is the same. You can spend on skincare and get zero benefit other than moisturization, and
Yeah.
that sometimes not even, it could even clog the skin. But when you buy technology, you should be buying technology from a laboratory who knows what they're doing, who's been around, who can back it up, who's there for you, that you know who they are, right? And now you put an investment, you're actually reprogramming your skin, because we can do that now. We can do so much in the lab. It's not, and we're not talking about makeup. Makeup is its own category,
Yeah.
right? But we're talking about healthy living and healthy skincare and being strong. Just the environment, just the UV, just what's happening in the world right now. We don't know what's in the air. We're going to
No.
need product on our skin to protect us from all this noise.
Yeah. It's so true. 100% true. And you guys, when we are talking about ingredients like this, small batch made exclusively for the type of skin that we're in right now, it's hard to believe that Shop HQ is doing this kind of a deal. 62% off on a curated set. It's that Redensify kit. It's your aging gratefully kit. But right now, $59.99, 62% off. Get the second one for $45. I'll tell you what, it's amazing. And we're here for you in this community, so you can ask questions. So Nancy, hi, Carly, Francis, we love that. Carly, Deborah, Harry's watching, everybody, we're so excited. So I've got a homework assignment for all of you that are watching right now. Tomorrow, we'll be back again at 2 p.m. Eastern. Manuel and I will have a new thing to talk about as far as our ingredients, but we want you guys to bring your questions because
Yes.
she's right here. You get to ask her anything. I got to ask her some fun questions like Botox or peptides. She said peptides. Drugstore dupes or expensive serums. Expensive serums. Your skin's worth it. So face yoga, gimmick or genius, gimmick. I mean, all of these things. So bring your questions. Manuel is here for you. And as always, we could be here all day with you guys chit chatting. So please go out and be kind to one another, spread the love. And my friend, you always finish up with a great one.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kathy, for spending time with me. I love it. And for everybody out there, good deeds, good thoughts, and good words. Oh, and happy Nowruz, because tomorrow, when we come back at 2 p.m., we would have already had the spring or spring solstice, right? At 10:40 tomorrow morning, I believe. So we'll be celebrating New Year's. And so we'll see you
Wow.
in the new year.
I love that. Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
fabulous. All right, you
Yeah.
guys. Well, we'll see each other tomorrow and
First day of
Friday. We're having a
spring.
special wake up and style. Yeah, first day of spring. I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk.